Hello, welcome back to part 8. So, I'm going to tell you why I'm so pissed off because what you're seeing right now is, yes, a little tour of the new rooms that I renovated, but also the old rooms. And what you might not realize is that I actually had to redo all of the custom content that I used because when I went in, it didn't load the mods, which is the custom content. And I was like, shit. So I saved it and then exited and then added the mods back in to the game. Big mistake because when you save it, it saves what is currently there and it doesn't put the mods back in when you enable the mods. So just a little lesson just in case. Because that isn't just so freaking annoying. It took me like 45 minutes to put everything back in. But anyway, it's fine. We're there. And the reason I'm doing like a sort of like a speed build type thing is because I was just having microphone problems the other day. So I just recorded me actually doing the building and then now I'm doing this. So yeah. But anyway, hello. I'm doing the upstairs bathroom of the older sister. You probably saw that I had decorated that the second story sort of like study nook area for the two younger sisters a little differently from last time, or I just added a few little things because I just thought it looked better. But yeah, I sort of had to as well because like when I went back into the game and all the mods were out, it had replaced it with just like this weird little white bench that is like from the base game, and I was like, oh hell no. So anyway, but yeah, that looks quite good. I think I pretty much redid everything. Like I had to go through the kitchen, I had to add back like that cool sink, like the big sink, and like the lounge, like everything, the wallpaper, the artwork, the bench seat, oh my god. So that's fine. But yeah, I'm just doing this bathroom. I love that bath. It took me a while to figure out which layout I wanted because for some reason I just could not figure out where I wanted like the shower and the bath in particular, because I always think it looks stupid if you have the shower by the window. So I was just trying to find like a good spot for it. And I also wanted the bath to be by a window. I think this is sort of getting to the final layout. Yeah, that's it there, I think. But then I added these cool things, which you'll see in a second. But anyway, as we're just watching this through, I'll give you a little life update. So we both had COVID, so that was great. Our whole flat was in lockdown for it was nearly a couple of weeks by the time we all got out. So one of our flatmates got it, and then her boyfriend got it, and then I got it, even though we were staying separate from each other, wearing masks in the house, and sanitizing everything, and messaging each other if we were going into the kitchen or downstairs or whatever. But anyway, we got it. It's no one's fault. It just happened. But yeah, so I thought at first that I'd caught a cold, which is so stupid, but I thought I caught a cold from going for a walk the night before, because it was getting cold, and I like to go for a walk when just before the sun sets. That's just sort of the time that I prefer, because it's not too hot. If you're sort of walking quite fast like I do, you get quite hot, so I go at that time. So the next day when I woke up feeling a bit weird, I was like, I've probably got a cold, because my nose was running so much in the middle of the night, almost to the point where I couldn't breathe. And I was like, this is weird, but it's probably just a cold. Stupid. But anyway, yeah, so it wasn't a cold. I text my boss even saying, I think I've got a cold. I'm just feeling really tired. So I'll let you know. I'll do a COVID test later, but it's probably not. Yeah, well, anyway, so I pretty much slept that whole day. This was probably 3 Tuesdays ago, I think now. I slept the whole day. I just could not. I just got up to go to the bathroom and went back to bed. I just was so exhausted. So I finally did a COVID test at 4 p.m. and yeah, it was positive, instantly. And I was like, shit. So yeah, got a week off work. but I definitely needed it. I got a fever for the first couple of days. It was almost to the point where I was delirious. Like, I remember all of it, but I just remember feeling like I was sort of in this weird, like, other world. I knew obviously what was going on. It wasn't like I passed out or anything, but I just felt so like spaced out, like I was on drugs or something. But then that sort of faded, and then I got a sore throat and really congested, and I sound like I'm sniffing now, and I am, but that's not from COVID. I've recovered now pretty much 100%, but yeah, I was so congested probably up until a few days ago. This is just like me because it's cold in the house right now. Yeah, so count how many times I'm going to say in this recording, but anyway, the entire right side of my face was congested. It felt like I had just this pressure from my brain down into my face, like through my sinuses, the right side of my nose. Well, obviously, like, your nose switches which side is blocking for some scientific reason, but it always felt like the right side of my face was just more congested than the left. And my ear, I couldn't hear properly, which was sort of giving me like vertigo vibes. That was not fun either. What else happened? Oh yeah, I got so achy. I forgot to say that. Like, the first couple of days, my thighs and my calf muscles. Has anyone else experienced that with COVID? It was to the point where I was almost like crying in pain. I do get like that when I have like the girly cycle symptoms, but this was different. This was intense. Like, I just was like, what the fuck? But yeah, I was pretty pleased when that passed. And I got breathlessness when I was walking as well. It took a few days, actually probably closer to a week, to actually like feel like I could go for a proper walk. We live in sort of a valley area, and so when you're walking from our house, you either have to go up one way or the other. And so I just walk up to the top of our street, and then I was like, yeah, let's go back. Anyway, so yeah, then I passed it on to my boyfriend, but he didn't get very bad symptoms, so he was quite lucky. So that was good. It was just rough. Like, he was in our little mini lockdown for the longest, because obviously when our first flatmate got COVID, we all went into lockdown. Well, that's another whole thing, but I actually had to keep going to work because I work at a shop that was technically classed as essential because we sell blankets. I'm not even going to get started on how like stupid I think that is, because I clearly was in a house with people that had COVID and I was going to work, and even though I was testing negative on my rat tests, I was probably highly infectious while I was there, because I caught it like, it was like three or four, well, I say caught it, but I became symptomatic 3 or 4 days after our first flatmate got it. So those 3 or 4 days, I was still going to work. It was actually ridiculous. But anyway, and now I've found out that if I get COVID within the next 90 days, or well, less than 90 days now from when I first had it, I won't get paid, or I won't get subsidized from the government. So I might get paid like way less, which is like ridiculous. That's everyone. That's not just me, but I just found that out and I was like, you're kidding. So anyway, let's not get political, but I'm just saying, I've supported the government through this whole thing, but I feel like if you're going to let something nasty into the country, you should probably like pay people if they catch it. But anyway, it's fine. So anyway, that's just a little life update. I'm all good now. I feel like Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. It definitely took probably 3 weeks. And if you've had COVID, you get it. I don't think people that haven't had COVID quite get it. They think, oh yeah, it's mild. And yeah, it's mild in the fact that you don't have to go to hospital necessarily, but it's not a mild illness. If you get sick, you're probably gonna like feel it a bit. It's not just like, oh, a little sniffly nose. It's rough. But anyway, moving on. Back to the build. Yeah, you saw me doing that little room with all the chairs. That's at like the top of the tower, so that's kind of cool. I was trying to get a thumbnail of them all sitting up there, and they kept like climbing down the ladder and like going to get food, and I was like, just sit down. So I had to, oh my god, it was infuriating. And like they were climbing down the ladder and like up the ladder at the same time, and I was like, girls, what's going on? Because obviously one person should only be using the ladder at once. And I was like, girls, just sit down. But I think I got a good thumbnail, so that's fine. But let's just say I'm completely done with this build now. By the time I was recording this and I'd like re-put all the custom content in, I was just like, I am done. I added some more stairs there because I thought it really needed it, because if they're coming like from the kitchen with some kai, they'll want to put it on that table, so that makes more sense. But yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed this build. It's taken me ages to do it just because I don't get time where I'm like actually at home alone. And I feel weird talking when there's other people here because they're probably like, what the hell are you doing? And I'm like, I'm actually just talking to my 10 followers or 10 people that are going to watch this video. So don't mind me. I'm actually famous. But yeah. Anyway, it's not really about that, obviously. I'm just doing it because I think it's fun. And it's just funny because like in 5-10 years or whatever, I'm going to look back and go, oh my God. That's probably why I talk so much about COVID, because I know that I'm going to forget all of that. It's like a little diary, you know. I don't know. I'm a bit restless today. I had a concert last night at the ASB Waterfront Arena for, we did one song. I'm in a chamber choir, which is like a smaller choir within the big choir. Yeah, it was for like alumni of Auckland University. We did one song and I was in town for like 8 or 9 hours. Just like hanging out, waiting for the actual show after the little dress rehearsal or whatever it was. Yeah, but anyway, I think it's about to go into just the end of the thing here. I think that's sort of where I finished it with the landscaping. I didn't want it to be like too crazy, just putting some little bushes in. I didn't want it to be perfect. I wanted it to look cute and blend in. So I'm going to I think I just show them sort of like in the house. Oh yeah, I don't know. I didn't do like a proper tour, but I think you've seen enough of this house, and I honestly have as well. Oh my God, I just noticed that wallpaper's weird in the lounge. Oh shit. Oh well, you know what? Doesn't matter. Anyway, so that's the bedrooms. Yeah, they're all going to live here. I'll put this on the gallery if anyone wants to download it or just like actually look at it properly. Because I didn't really show it off properly, but you know, I'm happy with it. I used a good mixture of content. Love those tiles. I changed those tiles, I think, downstairs as well in the other girl's bathroom. Love her room. Her room's my fave. Yeah, so that's it. I think it looks great. I'm really happy with it. I would love to live in a house like this, I think. And definitely have the chance to renovate it. Oh, I'm just loving like watching people renovate old homes and things. I'm so much more into like old houses these days. I used to just want everything quite minimal and new, but I think there's a real magic in old homes and sort of blending old and new. But anyway, that's all. Thanks so much for watching. This is the end of this little series. I might do another one at some point, but I'll talk to you next time.